So it makes me think of an interview I've got coming up with one of our solar executive coaches. It's going to be called How to Get Out of Your Own Way as a Solar Business Owner. But I've got to ask you this question because I
Yeah.
know you've seen this in probably every solar business you've worked with. The owner wanting to own all the functions, wanting to micromanage the company, wanting to have their claws in every decision. And it feels good to be able to control everything, but doesn't necessarily have the best outcome. How have you seen leaders in solar companies get out of their own way and empower their teams to make more decisions?
Yeah, it's one of the I'm going to say it is hard, right? And even just being a business owner myself, right? It's hard. It's your baby. It's risky, it's scary, it's exciting. It's you know the way you want things to be done. Right? And so it is hard to step back and let go of that control. I think that's the most important piece is it's important to acknowledge that, right? To me, I think the pieces to help you get out of your own way, or for me, is one, sometimes it's a force, right? It gets to the point where you can't keep doing it all because at some point, as much as we don't want to sleep, we do need sleep, and caffeine can only go so far. And so sometimes it's a force. I ideally coach leaders that we need to do it before it gets to that point, or before we, end up in a mental hospital because we've had a mental breakdown through the pressure. Um, it, to me, it's having the right people in place and having people that you can trust and making those right hires, and making sure you've got a clear understanding of what it is you're looking for, and what that recipe for success looks like with inside of what you're trying to build, and finding people that can understand that, right? So that's where we get into some of these things like your mission, your vision, your core values of an organization, right? If you're hiring for those and you're hiring the right people that are aligned, it makes it a lot easier to start being like, okay, I feel more comfortable letting go of this, right? And sometimes it does need to be something that's incremental, right? As far as kind of starting to let go, it's having people around you also that you have a comfortable relationship with, that you're okay with them coming to you and saying, hey, dude, you got to get out. You got to step out of this area. And have created a safe enough environment that they feel comfortable coming to you and saying, this is an area I've got this. Let me take this. But also understanding and communicating what it is you may need to be able to feel comfortable, right? So, is it something that, especially in the beginning, right? I will never say don't just hire someone and say here are the keys to the kingdom, go have fun, right? It is a process. You want to develop it, you want to take time and make sure that that person is worthy of that trust, um, from that standpoint. So I would say those are a few things that I would say, it's a process, making sure you're communicating clearly, having those expectations, and making sure you've got the right people in the right seats.